planning a trip to Boston, is that right?
Yes.
I would like Lewin in the back to tell me one thing you know about Boston.
Oh, I know some place to visit in Boston. Like
Place to visit.
yeah.
All right, Sue, why don't you tell me one thing you know?
Yes. In Boston, I know it's Boston also much display, and I know it have many place famous.
Okay. And
Yes. Can you tell me some delicious food in your hometown?
some, what kind of books?
Delicious food.
What is she asking, Ricky?
Food.
Can you talk about some delicious food?
Food. In my house?
No, in your hometown.
In Boston.
Okay.
In Boston.
All right, I'll show you one. All right, hold on.
Oh, he has a beautiful room.
Yeah, isn't that a beautiful room? That's a new room. He built more onto his house.
Okay, I don't know if you'll recognize this, but you might. So, we have one food here that's very popular. It's a seafood. It comes from the sea, and I know you guys like seafood over there. It's called a lobster.
Lobster with L. Lobster.
Lobster. Can you each say lobster?
Lobster.
Lobster. Good, lobster. So a lobster is a creature with a hard shell. Hard shell on the outside. Okay? And all the meat is inside, and it has claws like this that pinch. And it lives on the bottom of the sea. It doesn't swim. It walks on the bottom. All right?
Like rat.
Like a
and you cook it in boiling water. Crack the shell, and then eat the meat inside. It's very, very delicious. Another food that we have here that's very popular is also from the sea, and it's called clam. Say it, clam. Clam chowder. Good, chowder. It is a type of soup. It's a soup. And the clam is a bivalve. It's Ricky, tell them what a clam is.
New. Tip. New. Tip back new. Okay, I told him in Vietnamese.
Okay. So, because Boston is right on the coast, many of the favorite foods come from the sea. Okay?
Seafood.
Yeah.
Seafood. We love seafood here. And there are also many types of fish that we like to eat. That's right. But we don't get a lot of the type of food that you guys get, like eel and squid and octopus, because it's too cold up here for those type of creatures. They like the warm waters, like where you are. So right now, for example, it is about 10 degrees below zero outside.
Can you convert that to Celsius?
That is Celsius.
Ah.
Oh, no. Yeah, 10 degrees below 0 Celsius.
Oh. Very cold.
Very cold. I'll show you.
Wow. No.
You see, very cold.
Yeah.
Beautiful, huh?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You see how early it is? Sunrise.
Yeah. So, what else would you like to know?
Yes. I want to buy some gifts for my parents and friends. So, can you recommend for me, idea for me something?
Absolutely, and I even have one.
We have one.
Really?
This is a water pitcher. And it's shaped like a fish. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Fish.
That's right. And when you pour the water out, it makes a gurgling sound. It's funny. It makes a funny sound when you pour the water out. So it's very, very popular, and it's from only in Boston you can get these.
Can you pour the water out so we can hear it?
Sure, hold on.
Did you see all that snow?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I like snow.
Oh, that makes me miss home. It's very cold. That's why he has a big sweater on.
Do you feel hot in summer? But
Oh, yeah.
Very hot.
Very hot in the summer.
very hot.
Right now it's very nice.
Cold
All right, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, and I don't want to pour it on my computer. Listen carefully.
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Go.
How much is
Huh?
How much is it?
How much? How much? That's a good question. They come in different sizes.
Yes.
Small, medium,
yes.
and large.
Yes.
This is a medium.
Medium.
Medium, and that costs about $90.
90.
90.
So how many Vietnamese, what do you call them, would that be?
How many dongs? How much is
How many
it?
dollars?
2 million dong.
Is that a lot?
2 million dong.
He says, is that a lot?
Yes, very expensive.
Very expensive. A lot of times when I think about talking to people from other cultures and other countries about money, I often use, instead of, dollars or dong, I often think of how many hours would I have to work to buy that item. Because I think that's something that's easier to relate to. Do you think they understood that, Ricky?
Yes.
How many hours?
About 20. Half a month.
Half a month's salary.
Yes.
How much?
So, over here, that would be about
2 or 3.
4 or 5 hours, maybe half a day's pay to 1 day's pay.
Depends on the kind of job.
Yes.
Anywhere from maybe half a day to 2 or 3 days.
Okay? So, it's a nice gift, but if you live and work here, it's much less than it would be for someone who lives where you are. So maybe a half a day's pay to buy one of these. Half a day's pay. So if you look at it that way, it's not so expensive, right? That's right.
Well, then what can you recommend that's half a day's pay for them? Half a day's pay.
Half a day's pay for them.
So maybe $100,000?
Yes.
About $5.
How many?
$5.
$5. Well, you could buy a T-shirt.
T-shirt. Oh.
T-shirt.
T-shirt made in Vietnam.
Yeah, made in Vietnam. T-shirt made in Vietnam. Or a magnet to go on the refrigerator.
Yes. Like
Yeah, that's what she said.
yes.
Or small picture book.
Picture book.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe an inexpensive hat.
Hat.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe something like that.
Ring. Ring.
You know, Boston has a river running through the middle of it. And many people like to go on a boat ride down the river to look at the city that way. And that river goes right by a very famous school here called Harvard University. Have you heard of that? The river goes right by. So many people like to tour the city on a special kind of boat that can also go on the street. So it has wheels, but it also works like a boat. And it's called a duck. You know what a duck is? A type of bird? Duck, quack, 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 quack.
Yes.
A duck tour. So that is one thing that many visitors to Boston like to do.
Yes.
And we also have sailing ships. Sailing ships from long, long ago. Do they understand about a sailboat, Ricky?
No.
A sailing
I know.
You know?
I know.
Ah.
It's a shape of pirate.
And we have many well-known museums. Do you know what a museum is?
Yes.
Yeah, do you say yes because you do know, or you just want to make me happy by saying yes?
What museums do you know in Boston?
No.
What museums do you know about?
I don't know, and I want to know.
Luyan knows some museums.
Oh, I know some, but let's talk about it.
Ask what museums does he?
What museum we can go in Boston?
Museum. What special art museum?
Special art museum.
Art museum.
They want you to talk about the different museums.
Well, we have a very large museum called the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. Fine art means art that's done by people who are very, very good, like Picasso or Rembrandt or Monet or someone like that. So the Museum of Fine Art which has many different small museums inside of it. So you would go in and there would be an area of all Asian artwork, and then there would be another area of all maybe Egyptian things, and then another area perhaps of French artists, so it's sort of grouped by style. And then we have a lot of museums, small museums that are devoted to one thing in particular, like, say, only paintings or only modern art. And when I say modern art, I mean artwork created after the end of World War II. Okay, so artwork after 1945. And then there are other museums devoted only to paper, like, for example, books and maps, that sort of thing. So depending on what your interest is, you have many different choices. We also have museums for people who really like sports, like baseball or football or, whatever. So there's lots of different museums to visit.
Science, talk about the Science Museum and the aquarium.
Yes, of course. There's a very famous museum called the Boston Science Museum, and when we were young, me and Erika and our little brother, Zachary, my father would take us there all the time, almost, maybe
Yeah.
5 or 6 times every year. And they had all different things about science, like going out into space, mathematics, the physical world, animals, all that sort of thing. And they have a special type of a theater called a planetarium. Can you say that? Planetarium. Planetarium. It's a hard word.
Planetarium.
Can you explain to them what that is in Vietnamese?
Planetarium. Planetarium. In the inside of the building, you go in, and it's one very big room, and it's round inside, and you sit down in a chair and look up, and they put all the stars of the sky, and then it's an education, very fun and interesting.
The ceiling is shaped like this, and the people sit underneath and look up, and pictures of the sky are put onto the ceiling.
And stories.
And it's dark, so it looks like the night sky.
Night sky.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a building called a planetarium because it is devoted to the planets and the night sky. There's also a special kind of movie theater, which has a screen, a movie screen that's shaped like this. It's not a rectangle like this. It's shaped like this. And
it's
it
a
takes
bowl.
up the whole
Show the bowl. Show the bowl. Sideways.
The screen is shaped like this.
Sideways.
And it might be 30 meters tall. So you really get sort of a really wide view. We also have a type of a museum called an aquarium. Aquarium. That is a museum all about the sea. So there are fish and lobsters and sea mammals like seals and penguins and seabirds. And most of the museums serve as two purposes. One is to entertain. Do you understand by entertain?
Yes.
To someplace you can go and have fun, but also someplace to learn. So they have special programs for children, and they have special programming for university students. So they also serve as an educational institution as well. So this is one way that museums give back to the public, because in this country, a business has to pay tax to the government, right? Every business. But certain businesses, like a school or a museum, don't pay taxes because they're not operating for profit. One of the things they do to give back is by doing these educational types of programs for schools and children. Does that make sense to you guys?
Like an NGO, a non-governmental organization, the same.
Joni just woke up, but she doesn't want you to see her because she's not dressed for the public.
But let her talk so they can hear her accent.
I have no accent.
Say more.
We have 4 students here, and I can only pronounce one of their names.
Which one? Let's hear it.
Soon.
Yes.
Soon, and then there's Nguyen.
Yes.
And Duyen.
Yes.
And Sue.
Huang.
Wang. So they wanted to know what would be a good gift, so I showed them the gurgling cod. And it turns out it's equivalent to like a month's pay for them. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Don't.
He doesn't want to be. So what other questions do you have for me? Ask me anything.
Can you tell me which hotel has loud rate in Boston?
Bright.
No price.
Bright, loud
Low
rate.
price.
Loud hot.
I thought they said loud rice.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
You have to go upstairs Boston, or a low quality.
Right. Well, Boston is a very expensive city to visit. So most hotel rooms in Boston will cost you probably 2 of these for every night you stay. Right?
About
200.
About $200 a night. And could be much more than that. So there are less expensive places to stay, but really you have to get outside of the city to do that. So generally speaking, the closer you are to the city center, the more expensive everything is.
They can go anywhere in Massachusetts. Can you recommend a less expensive, great trip in the state that's not focused on Boston?
Yes.
What about somewhere on Cape Cod?
Well, I was going to recommend the Cape, but, that's probably just as pricey as Boston. But anyway, Massachusetts is a very it's a small state compared to others in the U.S., but it is a large state in this part of the country. So think of Massachusetts as a rectangle, with a big knob on one end. So from one side to the other, how many miles across Massachusetts? 200 miles? So maybe 300 kilometers from one side to the other, and then top to bottom, maybe 150 kilometers. Okay, so pretty decent size. So on one side, there is a part of the state that sticks out into the sea, like a peninsula. Do you understand what a peninsula is? Do they understand what that is, Joe, or Ricky?
Peninsula is an island connected by land.
Okay, and it's called Cape Cod. It's named after a very famous fish called the codfish, which is what this is. This is a codfish. So, if you go to Cape Cod, there are many less expensive places to visit, and there's lots and lots of beaches where you can go swimming in the sea. That's a very popular thing to do here, is to go to the sea, the seashore. So you could go to the Cape. The other thing you could do is if you went to the other side of the state, it's very mountainous. Many mountains. Do you know what a mountain is? Very high hill. So there are beautiful trees and landscape, and there are many places you can visit, like farms and museums. Many artists live out there because it is much less expensive. So you can visit their studio and see them building furniture or making glass or ceramics. Or you could visit a farm and see the way that they raise the cattle and the sheep and that sort of thing.
What is that part of the state called?
That's called the Berkshires, named after the mountain range in that part of the state. The Berkshires. Say Berkshire. Close enough. How about you, Tom? Berkshire. Leanne? Berkshire. That's pretty close. That's pretty good. So, that's a less expensive place to go and visit, but very, very beautiful. In the United States, there is not people living so very close together, like in your country. Everyone lives close together. Everywhere you go, there are many people, right? Everywhere in Vietnam, many people, right? Correct, Leanne? Correct?
Yes, correct.
Many people everywhere. But in the United States, there are many places you can go where there are no people. No people at all. So you can enjoy the animals, the trees, the landscape without cars and noise and all that. And many people like to go to just be in nature.
Hey, I think we have to have like one last comment or question or conversation and then say goodbye.
So, what, you guys have someplace to go? Well, I'm enjoying this. I mean, I'm willing to keep going unless you have something else to do.
Do you want to stay and talk to him?
Yes.
Well, if you don't want to, that's fine. If you have to get home or whatever.
So he says he will continue to talk to you if you want to stay and keep talking. It's okay with me.
In future.
Or we can talk again in the future.
Whatever.
Let's talk again another time.
Okay.
Would that be okay with you?
That would be fine.
Okay, that way we can talk about what happened and the best ideas for the trip, and then we can
Yeah.
call and ask your advice again.
Okay, well, it was nice to meet you, Luann.
Wow. Oh.
Hương.
Sue, Soon,
Yeah.
and Duyan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right.
Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Take
Take
care.
care.
Take care.
Okay, you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, bro.
Anytime, Ricky, talk to you later.
Okay, cool.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.